I'm Natalie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I guess it is a welcome back because I have not been on YouTube in so many months. And if you follow me on social media, you've seen so many things have happened in that time. I guess the biggest being that I got married. Not just engaged, full on married to my soulmate. I can't even put into words how amazing that was, but I'm going to do a full video just talking about the wedding and when it happened and how it happened, and everything that's kind of happened in our lives together. That includes moving into a brand new apartment, which is amazing. Lots of change, lots of amazing things, some big ups, some big downs, but I'm going to take some time to do another YouTube video explaining all of that. This is me formally coming back, I guess, so you can expect a lot of YouTube videos from me from now on. So if there's anything in particular you want to see, please leave a comment and let me know. But this video is going to be talking about the books I'm reading this month, books that I love, explaining why I love them, and I'm actually going to be giving away some free books as well, which is something I do a lot on Instagram, and I want to do it here on YouTube as well. I've even poured myself a cup of tea for this wonderful occasion, so let's get started. Okay, the first book, oh my god, I am so excited to even have this in my hands. Oh my god. So, the book, Now Is Your Chance, a 30-day guide to living your happiest life using positive psychology. So, the question on the back is, happiness is the ultimate goal for so many of us, but why does it often feel like it's a destination that is completely unreachable? And I think we can all relate to that. I know for me there's been periods where everything for me has been going so well, thriving business, amazing traveling, amazing friends, family, but inside there's times when I haven't felt happy or fulfilled, and learning the tools to find out what it was that I needed, it completely transforms you, and happiness really is a choice. It's not something you're stuck with. If you aren't fully happy with your life, you're not stuck that way, you can change it. So I've picked a couple of bits from Nick's book that I love the most. I didn't want to share too much because I really do want you guys to actually buy it. I should say I'm not being paid to advertise any of these books at all. I really want you to buy this because I know it's going to change your life, but the money raised from this is going to change so many women's lives. So I encourage you to buy it and buy another copy for a woman that you think would like it. And I'm actually going to give away 10 of these at the end of this YouTube, so I'm going to put the links for that. So yeah, some parts of the book that I really like. One of them is forgiveness. Now, we all go through experiences where people have done something that isn't nice, and you find it really hard to forgive them. We've all been through these experiences. We all go through our own crap. And personally, one big block for me was one person I couldn't forgive, and it had such an impact on so many areas of my life, and learning how to forgive properly. And that's not saying what you did was okay, because it's not, but to be able to say, I forgive you for what you did, and I'm not going to let that pain torture me anymore, I'm going to move past it, is a really powerful thing. So that's one part of this book that I love. Nick goes into detail about all the research behind forgiveness and talks about the best way that you can forgive things in your life that may be holding you back or playing on your mind when it really doesn't need to be. You've been tortured enough, you don't need to have that carried with you. I just love this book. Another part of this book that I really love is it teaches you how to stop comparing yourself to other people and be really confident in who you are. And if you've signed up to my newsletters, which I send out every Monday and Friday, plug, you'll know I talked about confidence just a couple of weeks ago, and talked about how I've had my own journey with my skin. I've always had terrible skin, and it's only in the past year or so that I've started to work out how to fix that and move on from it. but that really knocked my confidence along with a few other things. And I would compare myself to people, and I had no reason to have such low confidence. Like I don't think anyone does, but I did, and I just couldn't figure out how to get past that. I would do so many exercises. I would do whatever it took or people would tell me to do to get confidence. And what I didn't realize is it was all just in my head, and learning to talk to myself in a certain way and do certain things really, really helped. And there are some amazing tools in this book that Nick actually talks you through to actually be more confident. So you need to read this. Please go and buy it. I mean, I've already said that, but please do. Second one is Brendan Burchard, High Performance Habits, aka the Bible. So I was lucky enough to go to Brendan's High Performance Academy just a couple of weeks ago in San Diego, and we were there for 5 days. And the amount of stuff that I learned, oh my god. I remember coming home from it, Stephen picking me up from the airport, and I don't think he even got a chance to say hello to me. I was just like, telling him all the stuff I'd learned. Brendan is an expert in high performance. He works with Oprah, he works with all the most successful people in the world, and he coaches them on high performance. And what he did was conducted the biggest study ever on high performance to find out what makes high performers so different to everyone else. What are their habits that makes them so successful? And he put everything he learned into this book. Again, not sponsored. I want to say that because last time I did a post on makeup, everyone thought it was sponsored, and it was not. I mean, I wish. So the 6 habits that he came up with are clarity, energy, necessity, productivity, influence, and courage. And he goes through every single one of them step by step in this book. And it's actually, for how much information is in there, it's so easy to digest. So if you're reading anything this month on personal development and how to grow your business and be more successful, this should be it. I've actually read it and I'm starting to read it again because I just big fan of Brendan. Yeah, for me, I love success stories. I love hearing how people got to where they are now and what habits they have throughout the day. I'm obsessed with learning people's morning routines and how they goal set, and that's what this book is. It's just a ton of case studies that really will teach you how to perform better than you are right now. The third book. You've probably seen this before. You may have read it. If you haven't, you need to. So I was going through a horrible time a couple of months ago, like horrible. I won't get into detail, but honestly, some days I didn't want to get out of bed. I was having a really tough time. It probably was one of the hardest points in my life, and I guess kind of explains why I haven't been so active on social media as I normally am. But a couple months ago, yeah, really terrible time. And I was driving one day. I'd been crying all morning. I looked like crap. It felt like crap. Listening to Oprah's Super Soul Sunday podcast. Love this podcast. I mean, I listen to it in the car all the time, even if I've got people in with me. I'm like, please listen, it's so good. And she had Paul Coelho on there, and he was talking about The Alchemist. And he started saying some things that spoke to me in such a profound way that I started crying, and I had to pull the car over, and I listened to this podcast, and I listened to him talking about The Alchemist and the real meaning behind it. If you haven't listened to that podcast episode, I'll probably link it below actually. Please do. It was life-changing for me, and I always think you get given what you need when you need it, and I needed that. So I raced home, as you can imagine, and I downloaded it on my Kindle, and I bought this on Amazon. So I wanted the hard copy, but I wanted to read it straight away on my Kindle. And I started reading it, and I can honestly say from that afternoon, everything I was going through, I was seeing from a completely different perspective, and it changed how happy I was in a day. That for me was profound, because we know all of this and we know the things we should be thinking when we're going through a really tough time, but it doesn't mean that we are thinking them, because so often you get so caught up in your own head that you just can't. But yeah, The teachings in this book really, really are incredible, and it just helped me have perspective in a way I never had before. Okay, so the final book is Oprah Winfrey's What I Know For Sure. Now, I'd be lying if I said this is what I'm reading this month. I actually read it a year ago, but I had it on the counter in the guest bathroom.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
That was Alexa. Alexa always chimes in when I'm having a conversation. Okay. I had it on the counter in the guest bathroom, and my grandparents staying with me at the moment. They're over from England, and so I left it there, and my grandma picked it up this morning and started reading it, and I got up this morning and she started talking to me about the things she learned from it and how profound it was, and it started bringing up for me what it taught me, and so we had this really long chat about it, and I knew I had to include it today. So all of these books that I've talked about this morning focus around one thing. It's about finding your purpose. It's about being grateful for everything you have, to enjoy and trust the process, and to learn how to be happy. And this book, I mean, Oprah, she's one of my biggest idols. I've talked about her twice in this video already, but she really, really is. Her story is so inspiring, and the way she puts things into words, it's amazing. So I want to read just a little part of this book out to you. I recommend that you get it. It's not the kind of book you need to read end to end. So what I did was read one chapter every night, because it's not like a continuous story. You could pick it up and just pick a random chapter and read it. So I would read one chapter every night before I go to bed, and oh, it would just make me so happy. So here is the one part that I want to read out. Like me, you might have experienced things that caused you to deem yourself unworthy. I know for sure that healing wounds of the past is one of the biggest and most worthwhile challenges of life. It's important to know when and how you were programmed so that you can change the program, and doing so is your responsibility, no one else's. There is one irrefutable law of the universe. We are each responsible for our own life. If you're holding anyone else accountable for your happiness, you're wasting your time. You must be fearless enough to give yourself the love you didn't receive. Begin noticing how every day brings a new opportunity for your growth, how buried disagreements with your mother show up in arguments with your spouse, how unconscious feelings of unworthiness appear in everything you do and don't do. All these past experiences are your life's way of urging you to leave the past behind and make yourself whole. Pay attention. Every choice gives you a chance to pave your own road. Keep moving, full speed ahead. I just love that. I really, really believe that there are amazing things out there for all of us, and we just have to trust the process. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to prepare for when these opportunities come along. And I think this book helps you prepare. This book helps you be happy along the way, enjoying every part of this journey. This book shows up for you when you really need it most and the process isn't going as well as you want it to be. And this book just helps you find calmness in your heart when you really need it most. So for me, these are 4 books right now that I really encourage you to check out. I'm going to leave some links below for Nick's book to win one of Nick's books, the Oprah podcast, as I promised, and then I'll also leave a link for my own mailing list. I do a private blog every Monday and Friday that I email out. I'd love to have you on the list, so I'll put that link below. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do. And I hope you enjoy this video, and I look forward to finally doing more and being back on YouTube. So thanks for being patient.